Welcome to the second installment of Designing Spaces Military Makeover, brought to you by Nissan North America. I am Gunnery Sergeant Arlie Ermey, and we are about halfway through our renovation of the home of wounded warrior Stephen Lunt. Hey, there's a lot to do before the Lunt family can return.
Time for us to show our appreciation and give back to those who have sacrificed. This is Designing Spaces Military Makeover, and it starts right now.
Here we are in the home of Stephen Lunt and his little family. Now, we sent them away on a little R&R and are doing some badly needed renovations from the overhead to the deck. Now, first off, maybe we should see who Stephen is. I'm sure that would help.
I was born and raised in Moncks Corner, South Carolina, which is just a little town outside of Charleston.
Stephen was on leave from Japan. He started talking to me and said something like, "So you go to college," or something cheesy.
Stephen joined the Marine Corps Special Operations Task Force and was first deployed to Fallujah, Iraq, before volunteering to go to the extremely dangerous and remote Herat province in Afghanistan.
We had received a message from a team that was in distress. They were crossing a river that was deeper than usual.
Having their ammunition-filled Humvee stuck in the river, the team called Stephen's unit for assistance.
The game plan was to try to block the river with sandbags by hiring local nationals to come help us. One of the younger kids that was working for us used a pickaxe that was in his hand and struck me in the back of the head.
Ashley receives a phone call from the commanding officer telling her about the incident.
I was a wreck, of course, as to be expected. But when I got to hear his voice and hear him talk to me, it was a lot of reassurance.
Eventually, Stephen recovers, and now it's time for us to give back and make over their townhouse in Summerville, South Carolina. Of course, with the help of Operation Homefront, the nonprofit who provided the home.
You've already seen some of Stephen Lunt's story, but there is a lot more, trust me. Many events in their lives will be documented with pictures and videos. But how permanent are they? Maybe it's time to build a digital home for those family memories. What do you think?
Glenn Meekum is founder and CEO of Forever Inc., a provider for permanent online media storage.
So thanks for being here, Glenn. As you can see, we're in the middle of progress and checking out the storage here, getting the closets ready for the Lunt family.
Absolutely.
Storage is very important, when you say.
Storage is very important,
Where do you
absolutely.
put all of your stuff? Where do you put your family photos? You have a solution for that.
Well, that's right, and that's why I'm the CEO of Forever.com, and Forever.com is a place to save all your most important photos and videos and documents, and basically what we're trying to do for Stephen and Ashley Lunt is give them, in addition to a physical home, is give them a digital home.
So we've got these huge boxes in our houses of old photos, and they're all in disarray. How do we get all of those old physical prints onto Forever.com?
You can send us a box by FedEx and we'll do the scanning and organizing for you. But this is incredibly powerful because these boxes full of photos that sit in people's attics and garages, they get destroyed in floods. They eventually, when people downsize, they all get thrown away.
Sure.
And all that family history is lost. Here's a photo of, my engagement party with my wife. I've been married 25 years, but then here's my parents at their wedding.
Wow.
And here's my grandparents when they were engaged in the early 1930s. These memories are critical. And we have to know where we came from. We have to know what the family background is, what our values are, what our beliefs are.
Yeah.
And Forever is a great way to transmit all that.
Stephen Lunt certainly has great stories, and being able to hand down those visual memories to future generations can be very valuable.
You're talking about hundreds of years of storage.
That's right. So there's two major ways where we say it's permanent online storage, and it's really the first ever permanent online storage. And the big part of that is we have a guarantee fund. So when you pay to become a member of Forever, but when you pay, what happens is part of that money goes into the Forever Guarantee Fund and really permanently endows the future of your storage and your sharing.
As technology is ever changing, Forever converts file formats as they become more and more sophisticated.
walk us through the site here for the Lunts.
Yeah, so this is Stephen Lunt's site that we've given him as part of this military makeover, and this is his homepage. This is his gallery page, and you can see there's different albums. And I'll just flip you through a couple things. So there's an album about his growing up, and then of course he met Ashley. He was already in the Marine Corps. He met Ashley when he was traveling, and they fell in love, and they had a great courtship, and then they got married, and of course there's a big album all about their wedding. Everybody needs to have that, right?
Sure.
And then of course he served in Iraq twice, and he served in Afghanistan, so there's a lot of photos about his military experience and time with his fellow team members, and then of course we know the story about how he got injured and how he survived that terrible combat experience in Afghanistan, and of course he was awarded the Purple Heart, and we have that photo here.
Being a first Gulf War veteran, Glenn could relate to Stephen and has been involved with Wounded Warrior type projects for about 10 years.
We heard about Operation Homefront, we heard about the Lunts, and we said, in addition to them, all these great people rebuilding and redecorating and renovating their physical home, hey, let's give them a digital home.
Well, that's excellent. Thanks, and best of luck with the business. I know you're super excited about it.
Yeah,
it shows. Thanks. And thanks for being a part of this excellent cause that we're working on here.
Thanks very much, Art.
All right.
To find out more about permanent online digital storage, visit forever.com.
On our next installment of Military Makeover, we complete our mission, the transformation of the Lunt family home. Be sure to see part number 3, Designing Spaces Military Makeover, brought to you by Nissan North America. Stay with us and follow through, people. See you there next time, okay? Adios!
For more information about anything you've seen on today's show, or to find out how to be part of the show, log on to designingspaces.tv. You can visit these websites to learn more about the participants on this edition of Designing Spaces.